What's up, guys? This is Church of Caboose, and for today's Destiny 2 video, we are going to be talking about the Seraph Tower community event that will reward us the Felwinters Lie shotgun. We have some updates happen from Bungie, and I just thought I would share some of my own thoughts about what's going on with this tower, some tips and tricks, and we're just going to talk about this community event a little bit, such as, is the shotgun going to be worth it, and things of that nature. So before we get too far on into it, I am looking for some upgrades, whether it be microphones, video editing software, and or maybe a desktop of Apple or PC like Windows nature. So if you have any tips or suggestions of what I should be looking for when I'm upgrading materials, please let me know down below. That'd be great. I'm not super tech savvy, so I'm having to look at a lot of reviews. And then lastly, if you do enjoy the video and want to see more content by myself, make sure you click the like button as well as subscribing to the channel so that way you stay the most up to date. I do things like guides, opinions, reviews, Crucible shenanigans. I try to give a good variety of content on this channel. It's mostly Destiny 2 oriented, but who knows, I could cover other stuff in the future. And then, I guess actually lastly, I am a new affiliate for a new medical trauma kit kind of a company. They're called Mountain Man Medical. I'll have a link to their website down below, and once I have an affiliates link, I will add that to the description box and look for that in future videos. They do all kinds of stuff, specifically for if you were to get severely injured, whether it be from a car accident, could be a friend of yours if you're out on a hike, just stuff that is really nifty to kind of have around for the event of needing to help with a severe first aid kind of an issue that can occur at any moment. And if you're into guns, that's kind of mostly what they put their stuff for, but you have a lot of uses for first aid kits. Alright, so let's get on into the video. First thing we should probably talk about is, what is the Felwinters Lie? If you are not a Destiny 1 veteran, you might be a little confused by it. It is a shotgun. It was originally a legendary shotgun, and this go around in Destiny 2, it is an exotic shotgun. And this shotgun had some serious range. And in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, it had a perk called Shot Package, which basically made this thing a sniper rifle. And then this shotgun in Destiny 2 will have a couple of options you can switch between. You could do slide shot or quick draw, or you could do opening shot or vorpal rounds. You can kind of mess around a little bit. There's a lot of potential possibilities that will make this shotgun really good, such as if you're in trials and you see people are starting to get their supers, you could switch that perk from opening shot to vorpal rounds, which would be really nifty in a trials or competitive environment. And then I personally like slide shot, but having the option of quick draw is a really good option. And then this shotgun should be way better than Mindbenders. So it's a pretty great shotgun that we have in the, I guess, the world right now. And how you get this shotgun is, as a community, we have to do 9 million Seraph Tower Guardian completions, meaning not necessarily 9 million individual successful Seraph Tower completions, but 9 million Guardians that successfully complete each event. And there's a couple of changes that made this event more doable. At the beginning, the very first day of this event, I think the community, we got 5% done on the EDZ, and it was 1% done on the moon, and 1% done on IO, which is obviously super duper demoralizing. It was really frustrating, and a lot of folks are wondering, like, is Bungie trying to make us fail where we don't get the shotgun? Because there's been lots of data mining. Some people have been glitching into social areas, and it seems like the Almighty is going to hit some area, we just don't know which. And a lot of folks are speculating that whatever area is hit has got to be one of the 3 planets in the Warmind. Because if you look at the quest, you have to do 3 million of these Guardian completions on the EDZ, on the moon, and on Io. So there's been a lot of speculation that whichever planet has the least completions will be punished, or if we don't finish this event as a whole, that definitely some planet will be punished. But maybe if we do complete the event, we won't have a planet get destroyed or partially destroyed or something of that nature. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that all plays out, because that'd be kind of cool. Which leads us to the question, is this event designed for us to fail? I would argue no, but I can see why at the beginning why folks would think we were designed to fail. Because of all those glitches where I mentioned before, it would look like we definitely are supposed to have some kind of destruction happen. And the quest line makes it sound like, when you're reading through it, that if we successfully complete the quest and unlock the Felwinters lie, that none of the planets will be hurt because we'll have Rasputin at full power. So it makes some sense that we weren't supposed to be able to complete this specific event, which is kind of an interesting theory. However, Bungie just did an update as of today on May 13th for the tower events to make things a little bit easier. So let me show you guys a screenshot real quick. Bungie says, we have made adjustments to the Lie quest and Seraph Tower difficulty. Champions have reduced power level and events progression has been slightly tuned. Effective immediately, quest progression has been given a 5 times multiplier, which will be increased to a 10 times multiplier on weekends. So let's just kind of dig that apart a little bit. Basically, Bungie's saying, hey, the champions, when you get to that stage of this event, they're a little bit easier. And some progression has been tuned as well. And then finally, when you complete a Seraph Tower, from, I would assume it's probably something like Tuesday till Trials. That's just kind of my guess, based off of Trials is considered a weekend event, that you have a 5 times multiplier. Now, what does that mean? When you complete a Seraph event before this multiplier, say 9 of you are playing the event and you successfully complete the whole deal. So then you would have 9 ticks towards that total number for that planetary location. So then if you have the 5 times multiplier, that would be 45 ticks towards that overall multiplication. Then on weekends, if you had 9 people and you complete a tower successfully, then you would have 90 ticks contributed to this whole thing. Like, that progress is really the only thing I care much about from that tweet. Most people would generally acknowledge the champion aspect of the specific event was not that hard. I don't know the whole lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, I could totally beat this event if only the champions were easier to kill. Nah, that's not anything that I ever heard about, and that's not something I really care at all about. What folks were wanting is for this to be a match-made event. So either you load into some sort of a matchmaking thing in orbit and then you fly in, or you're able to team up with 6 players and go to the zone for the Seraph Tower. Like, that's what people were wanting, not so much having easier champions. I can tell you, as far as making the event easier, as far as progression goes, they did bump up the percentage. For each successful tower, you get 10%, which is 1 higher than it was before. Originally, you only got 9% progress for each tower, so it's kind of nice that now you get 10%, and it does seem like maybe the balls, the orbs you throw at that glowing orange ball, progress that ball a little bit closer to the tower. And then it looks like you might get a little bit more time. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the time, but when I was playing through this event today before making the video, because I was like, how can I make a video on an event if I don't play like the updated version of it? It did seem like we would have more time to complete the whole thing. I recall before we'd have something like 5.5 minutes, and it seemed like we were starting off with something closer to 6 minutes in order to complete all of the orb throws, which is, if that's in fact true, that's nice. But what we do know for sure is that the balls, when you complete a tower, you get 10% instead of 9% progress, and then the champions are weaker. So like, we got something, I guess, that's kind of nice, but kind of like Batman, you know how they're like, he's the hero we need but not what we deserve? We kind of like got the, like, I guess the same thing. Like, Bungie's kind of the hero we need, but we don't get the ones that we deserve. They're like, hey, look at all these people being like, we need matchmaking, or to load in with 6 folks, because this is a complex event. You have zones to hold, you have to keep enemies off, you have to throw balls. It's a little bit tricky just to load in on this heroic version of the Seraph Tower and just complete it. And so we've got like these couple of updates that no one really wanted, but I guess they're kind of nice. Like, we just didn't get the stuff we were actually wanting, which is really annoying. Like, I appreciate Bungie was like, hey, we're going to throw you guys a bone, and we're like, that's nice that we got a bone, but it's the wrong flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't really get why they thought maybe we'd be super excited about the champions being easier. Let me know down below. I don't know. I don't know anyone myself that was like, oh my gosh, if only the champions were easier. So you guys let me know down below. Were you someone that was like, hey, the champions are too hard? Like, is that something that makes you happy? It doesn't make me happy. So I'm just kind of curious what you guys think. For the future, I would think Bungie would want to put out more community events that are more entertaining. Like, we're in a point with this whole content. Season of the Worthy was pretty much a flop, right? Like, we had PvP. Trials was the main thing. And there's so many cheaters and error codes, all kinds of stuff. Like, I just finally, a couple days ago, maybe to a week ago, was able to get back on Xbox because of Watercress. Like, we had all these huge issues, and we now have an event that is wanting us to play something that no one really wants to play that much anymore. And we're getting materials like Warmind bits that for folks that have fully upgraded towers are completely useless. That's why in one of my past videos I mentioned a hope that Warmind bits were going to be involved in some way for this community event, because unless I delete them, I currently had about 12,000 Warmind bits saved up. I wasn't intentionally trying to grind them, so I'm not trying to think, oh, I wasted my time. I just from playing, I had 12,000 Warmind bits, and they're absolutely useless. I can't do anything with them other than delete them, since this event has nothing to do with Warmind bits. So if we were to have something of this nature, we need this to be released much, much earlier in the season. No one really wants to play that much Season of the Worthy. Folks definitely are fed up and over these tower events. And something that Azatros mentioned in one of his videos, because of the nature of Felwinters Live, he's saying that he's noticing there's more PvP-oriented players doing this event, trying to get this shotgun, than there are PvE players, which makes sense. If you don't play PvP, like shotguns, while nifty, those perks like range and shot package and quick draw and opening shot and vorpal rounds don't matter that much to the PvE main players. So it makes a lot of sense to me, like, and part of what I'm playing is like, I want this shotgun so I can have it for trials and mess around with it and you know, use it with Enteus wards because I'm scum. And so like, it just makes sense. So we gotta have something for future events that more people want to do. So like, our last community event was this dumb as hell Corridors of Time that gave us an exotic we already knew was coming. And this event, we're all like, yeah, we really want Felwinters, but is it worth all the time and effort? And I would argue right now, I think yes. So I just loaded in with my wife. She and I both play Destiny together. If you're new to the channel, this might be the first time you're hearing it. If you're not, we play together all the time. And we did about 5, maybe 6 runs, and we successfully completed 2 of them. So we either had about 20% success ratio, or maybe like a 30 or 40% ratio. It depends upon if we did 5 or 6. I honestly can't remember. I just know for sure out of the runs we did, we completed 2 of them. Whereas before, we were probably only managing to, I don't even think I got 1 successful completion yesterday. And my main qualm with this event, which is why people are wanting matchmaking, is this event is very complicated. And really the easiest and most efficient way to successfully do this Seraph Tower is to load in and go through all of the weird metric like math kinds of stuff and instancing to get a full fire team of 9, and to ideally have all 9 in your chat of your party. So it's just mind-boggling to me that yes, it is easier. Yes, we do get more, I guess, ticks towards the final counter for each completion, but we still have to go through trying to figure out how to get a decent team. Because you either need to just load in and you have 6 to 9 people, and you would probably get this event done. Maybe not. Like, it's not a guarantee. It's probably 50-50 really if you load in and you have 9 random people total in that event. But if you load in and you manage to work and finagle and you get the full fire team of 9, you're kind of set. And that's just a lot of work to go through something that requires 3 million Guardian completions per location. And I'm not sure how the math breaks everything down, because like you got this weird, well, if we all only do it on the weekends, then we have to do way less than if we do it during the week. Which I'm not sure why they're giving us more incentive to play this on the weekends when there's trials. I would have kind of hoped, if I knew this was coming, that we would have had the multiplier of 10 for during the week, and then weekend to be 5, because then you still have more reason to play trials, right? But no, once again, we have more reason to do anything but trials, which that whole thing is getting really annoying. And so I'm just really tired of this event. If you want some little tips, I would suggest once you have the 2 towers up, just all of you go to the same tower and just do 1 tower at a time. Because if you're not trying to do the flawless thing, you probably will be able to complete the whole thing faster, especially if you're with randos, if you all try to clump up on 1 tower and get that tower done and then moved on to the next one. But if you're with a coordinated team, it's definitely going to be faster to split up. It just requires more communication, which is why 1 tower works. If you're like me, loading in with just like 1 or maybe 2 other people and just kind of seeing what happens. And that's really all the tips I got for you. If you're that worried about barrier champions, maybe have an anti-barrier on some weapon that's equipped, or an unstoppable, and then have whatever is the other that you have equipped available in your inventory. So if you have an unstoppable hand cannon or something, maybe have a anti-barrier recluse or something of that nature, if not equipped, just on your character. So that's a really easy flip around if stuff gets messed with. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to team up, especially on Xbox, you're welcome to join my Church and Friends Discord server. I'm always trying to help folks out there. If you want to share your thoughts about this event, are you one of the people that's boycotting it? Because I know there's a lot of folks like, this whole event's stupid. Like, I'm not going to even try for the shotgun. Whereas I'm like, you know what? I want Felwinters back. I want to put up with it, even though I think this event is really stupid. And if you got any tips on upgrades for equipment to make these YouTube videos better and more professional for you guys, please let me know. I am looking and searching and taking all kinds of suggestions, ideally stuff that won't break my bank accounts. Thank you all so much for watching. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.